So
like we all could, by the way.
Yeah. So let's go back again to your early career. Is there some early experiences that you look back and you still smile about, like to this day? Like an assignment that you had to cover, a certain guest, a certain story. What about those early days do you just love when you think about?
I remember when the Raptors first came to Toronto and the NBA just started, I was working at the Fan, and at the time there were 2 basketball fans at the entire station. Everybody liked hockey or baseball.
Right.
No basketball fans except for Elliot Friedman and me. Right? That was it.
Yeah.
You know, and Elliot, there were guys who liked basketball, but I'm talking guys who love, guys who would really just want to watch basketball, and that was Elliot and myself. So Elliot got the job to be the Raptors guy. And so my job was to be the visiting dressing room guy. So whenever these teams would come to town, for 2 straight seasons, 2 and a bit, I interviewed every team that came through Toronto in the NBA. And it was in the golden era, man. It was Jordan and Pippen and Malone and Stockton and Patrick Ewing and the Admiral. I remember Kevin Garnett's first year, Stephon Marbury's first year. Who else was playing? Clyde Glide was playing. Hakeem the Dream was playing before he became a real sellout.
Yeah.
He really did ruin what he did for Toronto. I lost all my respect for him. That's when Mitch Richmond was playing, man. Kendall Gill was playing. Like, there were, Rick Smith was playing, Reggie. Like, there was some unbelievable. So that was my job. I learned how to interview by interviewing basketball players in the very beginning. I always smile when I think about just going into the arena that day and knowing the players and, man, oh man, good, how you doing? And sitting down and talking.
Do you remember there was a game where the Raptors beat the Bulls, and it was the year the Bulls went 72-10, right?
It was December 9th. Was it December 9th the game happened? Here's what I remember. It was December because I remember the newspapers were talking about how it was sunny and warm out, and they thought the Bulls brought the sun. Like, that's how
oh my goodness.
Jordan was Jordan, man. It was like,
yeah.
This is Jordan. I mean, they lost 10 games, right?
Yeah.
It was, yeah, the couple times it came, the Raptors always played well against the Lake Show and always well against the Bulls, because that's when Damon Stoudemire really earned his keep, right? And I remember that game against the Bulls. I was at that game.
You were at that
I sure was, man.
Oh my goodness.
I sure was. It might not have been December 9th, but for some reason that sticks in my head. It was in that, like, first week of December, though.
Oh my! They play that game a lot on Raptors TV, and I just watch it and I get chills when I watch it.
God, at least they play a winning
so
team.
Good. So okay, I'm gonna do something now called reaching out. So for those who would like to have your job, what are some broadcasting tips that you have?
You have to be a curious person.
Curious person.
To be good at it, I think you have to kind of put your ego aside, and you have to be willing to learn. That's the thing. It's one thing to go on air or even when you're young and you're starting out, you really want to impress people and you really want to show that you know what you're doing, and that's important. But it's also really important to recognize what you don't know and to go to others for help and ask. You need mentors. Like, you need mentors. You need people who help you get better at this, who give you tough love, and you got to know how to handle that. Like, I used to get it all the time, still do, from my friends. And you need that kind of, that openness. Like, you need that openness to it. That's a huge thing. And then just go to work. Like, turn your work ethic on. Right. If you have talent, like, work ethic is how you hone talent. Talent is this blob of clay. It can be anything. And even when it's beautifully glazed and finished, you can still break it easily. Talent is this thing. The work ethic is how you hone that. Make it a sturdy, piece. Make it a beautiful piece. All that stuff. But everybody has some blob of clay on that wheel. Mm-hmm. Others are bigger.
And it's just how you mold it, right?
It's how you mold it. It's how you let it set. It's all that stuff.
So, what is something about the industry that just can't be taught? What is something that once you're in there, it's something you just have to know? That you can't learn it, you can't teach it, it's something that...
There's a spark when someone looks into a camera and comes alive. Like, comes alive, that thing where they're talking just to you at home. Can't teach that.
You can't teach it.
You cannot teach that. You either have it or you don't have it. You can get... you can become comfortable on TV through practice, and you could do lots of cool stuff and have a great career and a great life, right?
Yeah.
Without it. But that special thing, Chelsea Handler, Craig Ferguson.
Oh, I love Craig.
Craig is the thing.
Yeah.
Craig is comfortable on TV. Jimmy Kimmel, comfortable on TV.
Yeah.
Maybe more comfortable than anybody.
Maybe
more comfortable than anybody ever.
Like, a lot of people my age don't realize how, like, one of my favorite broadcasters, Regis.
Yeah.
I love Regis Philbin. I think he's a great broadcaster. David Letterman, one of the all-time great broadcasters.
Howard Stern.
Stern, of course.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Stern is, like,
there it is.
The king, right?
He is the Beatles of talk radio.
Yeah.
He changed everything.
I mean, the people who listen to Stern now, who are new Stern fans, they know.
What a great cover.
That story is good. Neil Strauss, who wrote it.
Amazing.
Like, Stern does he's entering what I call his Carson period, where he does 3 shows a day, and they're good shows.
Yeah.
But there was, like, Stern in the 90s.
So you're talking about Carson period in that he's mailing it in a way?
Kind of, but the program, the ideas, what you're talking about, the spark is still there to me. It's
his ability is out of this world.
Like, to kill 4 hours a day in the morning for 3 days is unbelievable.
Out of this world. Howard Stern, Rush Limbaugh,
right?
Same thing.
Yeah.
They have a talent. Like, watch Glenn Beck on TV and watch Rush Limbaugh on TV, right? You see the difference right there.
Yeah.
Glenn Beck is a very capable broadcaster. Very good storyteller, understands his message, delivers it as best he can. But it seems like a circus, right?
Yeah.
Rush Limbaugh does all the same things that Glenn can do, but when Rush does it, you get a feeling that, oh my God, this is really powerful. If you agree, it's really powerful. Mm-hmm. If you disagree, you're terrified of it, because you know what Rush can do.
Oh yeah.
That's a natural ability.
They're good. They have a handle on the medium.
Yeah, for sure. Where Bill O'Reilly is a bully, Rush Limbaugh knows how to be a bully and how to not be a bully. Mm-hmm. Rush Limbaugh knows how to implore an audience to see his point of view. Bill O'Reilly does not. Bill O'Reilly tells you what he thinks, but will never get you to see his point of view if you don't already share it. Rush Limbaugh knows how to construct an argument, right? So Stern, Limbaugh, all of those guys, man, that's the thing you can't teach. You can't teach that spark. You have that spark though, bro. So it depends on what you
see. It's more of a.
No, like, you have it. You have it. Like, you have it on camera. I've seen it. I've definitely seen it. You have it. The question is, what do you want to do with it, right? Because you identify as a comedian,
right?
Which I think is interesting. Because so are you a comedian or are you a broadcaster? You can be both, but you need one love first. So you can be a hybrid. Over time, you can be everything.
Right.
But what's the skill you're really developing? What do you want? Like, what do you want to do for a living?
I think, again, like you're saying, I think the first thing I want to do is make an audience laugh.
Yeah.
That is the #1 goal.
But how?
And again, I'm trying to figure that out. You know,
can walk down the street and you can trip, right? You can make an audience laugh that way, right? And then that's cool.
Yeah.
But what's the thing that you're doing when you do it? You feel like, yeah, this is my calling.
It's interesting you bring this up, because right now I'm going through this eternal struggle where I know the taste in art that I have is really good, right? Because of the things I watch that inform me. I know, like, I have a certain vision for what I want to do and a certain taste that I want to project to people. But right now, for some reason, because I don't have the experience, it's not coming out the way I want to.
Yeah.
So my goal is just to keep trying and keep getting it down and refining it and refining it and refining it until I get to.
That's how you do it. And you're in that stage. Take the next 10 years and punch it out, man. Punch it out. And then when you find your voice, you're going to have to keep punching, right?
Yeah.
To maintain it or to improve it. But take the next 10 years, and if that song that you hear in your head doesn't come out exactly the same way on the guitar, don't be frustrated by it.
It's tough. It's tough.
But don't be, because what you're focusing on, I know I'm just saying you now, but the royal situation focuses on what's not working, right? It's determined by you, as if you're the one who's qualified to say what should be working. You don't know. We don't know. If this is what's coming out, what's going on here? Why am I getting this and why am I not getting this? Focus on what's happening as well. Focus on other things that you're learning about yourself. Just because you didn't get what you wanted, that doesn't mean that it was a waste. Every opportunity has a moment to learn. every execution there's something you can learn, not just from what went wrong, but from what went right.
How do you look at the next 10 years in terms of your show and the radio show? Do you think there's always going to be room for reinvention? Do you like the direction it's going in right now?
I don't know about the next 10 years. I don't even know about the next 5 years, to be honest with you. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm unqualified to know what my chemistry is going to be, what's going to be happening in my family. I don't know which city I'm going to be living in. I don't know what the market's going to be like, the business. I don't know any of that stuff. So I don't want to waste any time thinking about stuff that I'll never be able to control, right?
Right.
I'd rather ride the wave as opposed to bitch about why the wave didn't do what I wanted,
Yeah.
right? So that's sincerely how I approach it. Do I like the direction of the career now? Yeah, I do. In that for the longest time, every day I felt like I was getting that song out of my head. You know?
Right.
I don't know. We're too new into this season for me to think that we're there yet. You know, we change the show a lot. So every year we change the show. It takes a few months to figure out what it is we're trying to do. Even though, now, because we have so much experience and we have a nice relationship with the audience, even when we don't know if we've hit exactly our right note, we still pull it off and hopefully it works and the audience likes it, right? But I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be on the CBC. I don't know if I'm not going to be on the CBC. I don't know. It's not. I mean, it's partly my call, but not entirely my call, right? I can make my choices, but they can make their choice too. You know, they don't have to keep me around. So, who knows? And it's actually a really exciting place to be.
Right.
Who knows? You know. And I'm open to. I used to be like, no, I want to keep doing this. I want to keep doing this. Now I'm open to whatever. Like I'm open to stuff, and I think that's kind of exciting.
Interesting. So, as if I have to mention this, George Stroumboulopoulos Tonight airs weeknights at 7 on CBC, and you can listen to the Strombo Show from Sundays 8 to 11 p.m. on CBC Radio 2. So, as you know, you have a talk show. Guests that come on, you give them swag just to say thanks for coming.
Right.
Our show is no different.
Okay.
You know, the budget is a bit low here.
No, not much lower. I do work for CBC, remember? You know.
So here is $20 to the finest dining establishment this country has to offer, Swiss Chalet.
Dude, you're rad.
Enjoy that. And I have
so great.
I have a t-shirt as well. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Can you hold on to that for 1 second? Forgot to Sharpie it. Okay, so I'm just gonna write weekly. Alright, there you go. George, thank you for your time.
No, bro, you gotta sign the back, man.
I gotta sign the back? Okay. Well, I signed the back. There you go. It'll be worth $10 in the future.
Dude, that's an investment. I would bet $10.